Hello all, welcome to the second session of Ethics Answer Writing series. Just like the first session in which I discussed a mains 2019 question, I'll be discussing another question from 2019 mains. The sample answer that I'll be sharing is from my book Decode Ethics second edition, the pic of which you can see on screen right now. So before starting this session, I would like to inform that you can download my notes from my blog. You can join my Telegram channel, that is Decode Civils Group. Links of both as well as book are shared in the description section. So before proceeding to the new session, let me give you a highlight of the previous session. So this was the question that we discussed in the first session, that was from 2018 mains, and we tried to imbibe following structure and divide the question and our answer according to this structure. That is, we'll be writing introduction, wherein we'll define the keywords. We'll add name of thinker, theory, news background if any. Then we'll make separate headings if the question has multiple subparts. But as you can see, this question had only one part. We did not make separate headings. We'll try to answer in points and we'll write as many keywords as possible, but then we'll maintain 80-20 rule, wherein 80% of our answer will be application based and example based, and only 20% of our answer will be theoretical. At the end, we'll draw a diagram and conclude. So this is the structure that will remain common across this answer writing series for section A. Let us proceed to the question of this session. So again, you can see a question of CSM 2019 on your screens. Before starting the question, I would like to inform you that it is on page number 144 of second edition of Decode Ethics. Someone yesterday from YouTube commented that it would be better that if I could tell the page number as well, so that they can read the question and the answer from the book while going through the video. So this might help them. And also one added information that this is a pic from my first edition of book, which was released in June 2019, and you can find this, you can pause and read this quote which I mentioned by Dr. Kalam, and a similar quote was asked in mains later that year. So this is to just prove the point that my book is really worth it. Now coming to the question at hand. So where there is righteousness in heart, there is beauty in character. It starts with, where there is righteousness in heart, there is beauty in character. Where there is beauty in character, there is harmony in home. Where there is harmony in home, there is order in nation. Where there is order in nation, there is peace in world. Written by, given by Dr. Kalam. What this quote means to you in the present context, or what does this quote mean to you? So it is a simple quote-based question. Quote-based questions are asked by UPSC many times. Uh, I'll try to deal with another quote-based question in next session, and we will deal it differently. This question has been dealt with in a different manner. So applying the same format, we'll write intro. In intro, we'll define keywords. We'll mention thinker, any theory, just the passing reference, and then we'll mention the news background if any. Then after that, we'll make headings if there are in question. Then we'll try to answer in points. We'll ensure that we are writing enough keywords, at least 4 or 5 keywords in our answer. At the same time, we'll ensure that we'll write more examples following the 80-20 rule, and we'll draw a diagram, and then we'll conclude. So these 6-7 points you will find common across the sessions. So let us begin with the answer that I have written in the book. The given statement is an excerpt from Dr. Kalam's speech at European Parliament. Now, instead of news background, as this is a historical quote, it is a quote which was given at one particular event. If you can recall that event, then good enough, but then this is not required per se, this is not necessary. If you have given this, this is an added thing that you are giving to the examiner, no harm. If you don't know, no harm either. So then I have written about the gist of the question. What is the question trying to say? So as you can see, while reading the question itself, I marked these lines: righteousness in heart, then character, then home, then nation, and then world. So it is basically starting from an individual's heart, individual's character, then his home, then his nation, and then to world. So you can explain this quote in the chronological order as mentioned in the question itself. This is what I have written. I agree with same. Now you should notice this, that I have written the answer in first person. There is a lot of doubt outside uh, with aspirants that should you answer in ethics using first person. Now, when UPSC itself is asking what this quote means to you, when it is addressing you, you should address as I. This quote means to me, blah blah blah. So I agree with the same, because if we need peace in world, I have started from the opposite end. World, we need order in nation. We need order in For order in nation. We need order at home. For order at home, origin of which lies in character and righteousness in the heart of individual. So seeds of peace in the world have their origin in righteousness in the heart of every individual. So you can address it this way. That is, I have tried to prove it from back to front, or you can go with the flow of the question this way. I have went this way. So now I have made a separate heading. It further means. This is the gist here according to me, and then I have given further heading. So you can write anything, but as I told you in the previous video, points must be ethical. You can write anything, but then you will get more marks only and only if your points are ethical, if your points reflect that you have read ethics, if your points are from syllabus. So the best way, as I told you previously, is to learn the syllabus. Now note the points that I have written. Education with value system has to be designed so that righteousness in heart is developed in children, and they can emerge as individuals with beautiful character. If you notice that human values chapter in my book, if you go through it, you will find that I have dealt with value education. So this is a point that I am making directly from the syllabus, directly from the book. Now you can write anything, but then when you write this particular point, it reflects ethics in your answer, because I have written keywords like righteousness in heart, character, value system, etc. Again, role of parents in value education and maintaining harmony at home needs to be emphasized. So, role of parents is a direct keyword picked from the syllabus itself. So, this point I am making from syllabus. It does two or three things. First is that you do not have to think much while writing the points. You have to complete a 10 marker question in 7 minutes. Secondly, it gives ethics points. And thirdly, you do not digress from the question. You do not digress from the paper, you remain on ethics. Third point I've written, this leads to evolution of enlightened society. Enlightened society is a keyword here, and a nation uh, where most things are in order. Fourth point, such nations join together to build a cohesive and peaceful world society. Now, this is the gist according to me. You can differ with the points because there is no fixed answer, but then ensure whatever you write, you have keywords. You have keywords and points look ethical. Now coming to the examples part of it. So these are the example 1, then there is example 2, and example 3, and there is a diagram. So examples that I have written are: Gandhiji as a child learned and practiced values like truthfulness and non-violence. Now even in example, notice that I am using a leader, Gandhiji. I am mentioning keywords: non-violence, truthfulness. Leadership is a keyword. If you have read Goldman model of emotional intelligence, you will find leadership or social skills as one important component of same. His leadership in Africa during India's freedom struggle reflected his character and brought order and peace in nations and world. Now I am linking my example with the demand of the question. Just writing the example won't help. If I had written only these three lines, two or three lines, it wouldn't have helped. But then now I'm linking this thing with the question, had brought order and peace in nations and world. So I started with individual Gandhiji because there is beauty in his character. So he uh, dreamt of harmony at home, and that brought harmony to nation and world at large. Now I have drawn a very simple diagram. If you have gone through the detailed ethics video on my YouTube channel, you would have seen that I have mentioned what kinds of diagrams you can draw. So this is a basic block chronological diagram. It starts with righteousness in heart, then character, then home, then nation and world. uh, I have not done anything special in this diagram. All I have done is that I have presented the question itself in a diagrammatic way. 9 out of 10 people won't do this. And if you are the 10th person who has done this, trust me, examiner is going to give you that plus one extra mark, and plus one really matters. Another example that I have written is a public servant having righteousness in heart is bound to have sound character and bring good governance and harmony to infinite people with his service. This will create order in nation and world. I have used keywords and I have linked with the question. And lastly, a one liner or two liner conclusion. As I've already told you, I did not write huge conclusions, big conclusions, because you have to complete answer in 7 minutes. Already you have done enough. You have mentioned thinker, you have mentioned the gist, you have mentioned points, headings, two or three examples, diagrams. So conclusion can be short and crisp. So my conclusion is, therefore, focus shall be on developing virtuous character. Again, a keyword, virtuous character, rather than just training the minds. So if you have read my book, again the human values chapter, there you will find that Mahatma Gandhi always emphasized on education which not only trains the mind but also trains the heart and soul along with the mind. So he said that only training the mind is not holistic education. We need system of value education, value based education, which focuses on all aspects so that a all round development is possible. So this is all in this session from my side. For the next session, if you tune in, you can read page number 246. There is a answer solved on page number 246 of second edition of my book. I'll be discussing that question in the next session. Link of the book is in description, blog link is in description, and my Telegram group link is also in description. You are already here on my YouTube channel. Do share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.